Xin chào quý vị và các bạn. Welcome to our special exploration today. In the ever-growing world of Pi Network, a new term has captured everyone's attention, GCV. You may have seen these three letters pop up in community chats, social media posts, and passionate online discussions. It seems everyone is talking about GCV, but what does it truly stand for? Is this the final price of Pi? Is it a number set by the core team? These are the questions on the minds of millions of pioneers, and today we will embark on a journey to find the answers, much like a contestant facing a million-dollar question. The excitement is palpable, and the curiosity is immense. GCV stands for Global Consensus Value. As the name suggests, it is a value, a price point if you will, that has been born from the collective agreement of the community itself. Imagine millions of people around the world coming together and deciding, this is what we believe our Pi coin should be worth. It is not a price you see on a typical cryptocurrency exchange, fluctuating wildly with every market whisper. Instead, it is a figure that has been proposed and supported by a significant portion of the Pi community. This concept has generated a tremendous amount of buzz, creating both excitement and a healthy dose of skepticism. The specific value often associated with GCV is quite ambitious, frequently cited as $314,159 per Pi coin. This number is, of course, a clever nod to the mathematical constant pi, about 3.14159. It is a symbolic figure that represents the high hopes and grand aspirations of the community. For many pioneers who have been diligently mining on their phones for years, this number is more than just a price tag. It is a testament to their long-term belief and a beacon of hope for a prosperous future. The emergence of this consensus value shows the proactive and unified spirit of the Pi Network's global user base. So why has GCV become such a hot topic right now, on this day, October 10, 2025? The answer lies in the current stage of the project. As Pi Network inches closer to its open mainnet phase, the point where Pi can be freely traded on external exchanges, the community is actively seeking to establish a foundational value for their hard-earned coins. They want to enter the market not with a price of zero, but with a strong, unified statement of worth. GCV is their declaration of value, a grassroots movement aimed at shaping the economic destiny of Pi from the ground up, before the wider market has its say. Now let's move to our next important question. What is the fundamental difference between GCV and a market price? This is a crucial distinction that every pioneer must understand. A market price, as we know it from stocks or other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, is determined by the dynamic forces of supply and demand on open exchanges. When more people want to buy than sell, the price goes up. When more people want to sell than buy, the price goes down. It is a constant tug of war, influenced by news, regulations, investor sentiment, and countless other external factors. It is often volatile and unpredictable. GCV, on the other hand, operates on a completely different principle. It is not born from the chaos of an open market, but from the deliberate collective agreement within a closed community. Think of it as a social contract. The members of the Pi Network community are essentially saying, among ourselves, for the goods and services we exchange within our ecosystem, we will honor this specific value. It is an internal benchmark, a fixed price point established by consensus, not by trading bots or market speculators. This value is intended to be stable and to reflect the community's shared belief in the long-term potential of the network. This distinction is at the very core of the Pi Network philosophy. The project has always aimed to be a cryptocurrency for everyday people, accessible and fair. By promoting a consensus value, the community is attempting to protect the coin from the initial pump-and-dump schemes that have plagued many new cryptocurrencies upon their launch. The idea is to create a stable economic foundation from within, allowing the ecosystem of apps and services to mature and flourish. GCV is a statement that the value of Pi should be determined by its utility and its community, not by external market whims. Therefore, when you see the GCV figure of $314,159, it is essential to remember that this is not the price you will find on Binance or Coinbase tomorrow. It is a goal, an internal standard that pioneers are encouraged to adopt when bartering for goods and services within the Pi ecosystem. A pioneer might trade a small fraction of a Pi coin for a coffee or a smartphone, based on calculations using the GCV. It is an expression of confidence from the inside out, a bold attempt to write their own economic story before the rest of the world starts reading it. So what is the ultimate purpose of establishing a global consensus value? Is it just about dreaming of a high price? The answer is more profound than that. The grand vision behind GCV is to lay the groundwork for a truly decentralized, community-driven economy. In the traditional financial world, value is often dictated by central banks, governments, and large financial institutions. Blockchain technology, and by extension Pi network, was created to challenge this centralized model. GCV is a practical application of that revolutionary spirit, placing economic power directly into the hands of the community members themselves. The primary goal is to foster a robust peer-to-peer marketplace. By agreeing on a stable and high consensus value, the community creates a predictable environment for commerce. Imagine a global digital marketplace where pioneers can buy and sell goods and services directly with one another, using Pi, without converting to traditional money first. A craftsman in Vietnam could sell their handmade products to a buyer in Brazil, both agreeing to transact based on the GCV. This stability encourages participation and builds a self-sustaining ecosystem where Pi is used as a true medium of exchange, not just a speculative asset. This approach directly reflects the core tenets of blockchain philosophy: decentralization, transparency, and user empowerment. GCV is a testament to the idea that value does not need to be bestowed by an external authority. It can be created and sustained by the very people who use and support the network. It is an economic experiment on a massive scale. The success of this experiment hinges on the community's collective discipline and commitment to honor the agreed-upon value in their transactions. It is a bold move to create a circular economy where value is created, exchanged, and remains within the Pi ecosystem, strengthening it from the inside. Ultimately, GCV serves as a powerful unifying force. It gives millions of users, many of whom may be new to the world of cryptocurrency, a clear and tangible goal to rally behind. It transforms the abstract act of mining a digital coin on a phone into a collaborative project with a shared objective. This shared belief fosters a stronger, more resilient community that is better equipped to support the network's long-term development. The vision is not just about making individuals wealthy, but about building a new kind of global economy, one that is more equitable, accessible, and controlled by its participants. Now we come to the million-dollar question, quite literally. Is a GCV of $314,159 actually feasible in the real world? This is where the beautiful dream of consensus meets the harsh realities of economics. We must put on our analytical hats and consider the immense challenges. The most significant hurdles are the fundamental economic principles of supply and demand, market capitalization, and liquidity. These forces are like gravity. They are incredibly difficult to defy, no matter how strong a community's belief is. It is time for a reality check. Let's do some simple math to understand the scale. The total supply of Pi is reported to be 100 billion coins. If a single Pi were valued at $314,159, the total market capitalization of Pi network would be a staggering $31.4 quadrillion. To put that into perspective, the entire global GDP, the value of all goods and services produced by every country in the world in a year, is estimated to be around $100 trillion. The total value of all global stock markets combined is in a similar range. A market cap of $31.4 quadrillion would make Pi network worth more than all the money and assets on Earth combined, many times over. This is, by any measure, an astronomical figure. Furthermore, for a price to be real, there must be liquidity. This means there needs to be a massive amount of real-world money like US dollars or euros ready to buy Pi at that price. For the GCV to hold, for every person wanting to sell one Pi coin for $314,159, there must be someone else willing and able to pay that amount. Given the potential number of sellers among the tens of millions of pioneers, it is highly improbable that a corresponding level of buying pressure would exist at such a high price point once the network opens up to external markets. The sheer force of supply would likely push the market price down significantly. Therefore, while the GCV is a powerful concept for building an internal community economy, it is almost certain that it will not be the price listed on external exchanges when the open mainnet launches. The market price will be determined by what people in the open market are actually willing to pay for it. The collision between the community's consensus value and the market's valuation will be a defining moment for Pi network. The most likely scenario is a dual-price system, a high, stable GCV used within the closed ecosystem, and a much lower, more volatile market price on external exchanges. So if the GCV is unlikely to become the actual market price, should we dismiss it as a mere fantasy? Absolutely not. To do so would be to miss the entire point. The true power of the global consensus value does not lie in its numerical feasibility, but in its role as a powerful symbol of faith, unity, and ambition. It is the North Star for the Pi community, a guiding light that keeps morale high and directs collective effort towards a common goal. Its value is not economic in the traditional sense, it is social and psychological. First and foremost, GCV fosters unwavering belief and long-term commitment. For years, pioneers have been tapping a button on their phones with no guarantee of reward. The GCV gives them a tangible vision of what their efforts could one day be worth. This shared dream is a powerful motivator that prevents users from abandoning the project. It encourages them to continue participating, to engage with the ecosystem, and to believe in the network's future. This sustained engagement is the lifeblood of any growing network. Without it, the project would stagnate and fade away. Moreover, the discussion and promotion of GCV actively stimulate the development of the Pi ecosystem. By setting a high-value benchmark, it challenges developers and entrepreneurs within the community to create apps and services that are worthy of that value. It encourages pioneers to think of Pi not as a cheap token, but as a premium currency. This mindset leads to the creation of a higher-quality barter economy. People are more willing to exchange valuable goods and services if they believe the Pi they receive in return holds significant, stable value. The GCV, in this sense, acts as a catalyst for real utility. In conclusion, the global consensus value is the heart of the Pi network narrative. It is a dream that binds the community together. While it may not reflect the future market reality, its importance cannot be overstated. It represents the collective hope and the revolutionary spirit of a community that dares to define value on its own terms. The GCV is a powerful story, and in the world of cryptocurrency, a powerful story can be just as valuable as the underlying technology. It is a symbol of faith that has successfully mobilized millions, and that in and of itself is a remarkable achievement in the journey of Pi Network.